Summer Camp, a program designed for kids that offers sporting activities and stuff like that. Now, I've never been able to attend a summer camp in real life, mainly due to the fact that I'm in England and I don't think they actually exist here. And if they do, I've definitely never seen one. But I have spent many hours at summer camp, not in reality, but virtually. Psychonauts is a 2005 platformer by development team and publisher Double Fine, who are actually now a first-party game dev for Xbox Game Studios. Psychonauts was the first game developed by Double Fine Studios as a team, inspired by a cut portion of Full Throttle, a previous game where the protagonist Ben had a lucid trip induced by peyote. This game, although originally being a commercial failure at launch, was praised by critics and has since garnered a cult following, and to many, is one of the greatest games ever made, and certainly one of the greatest 3D adventure platformer collectathons. Even if you aren't a fan of Double Fine's work, or of the adventure platformer genre in general, you may know this game from memes like the Milkman conspiracy, which was pretty popular. Luckily for fans of the game, a Psychonauts 2 is even in the works, hopefully releasing this year after numerous delays. Please Double Fine, I'm begging you. Double Fine is a great team. They've made some amazing games like Brutal Legend, Costume Quest and Broken Age, which I all own. Tim Schafer is the mind behind and founder of Double Fine. He has titles under his belt such as Grim Fandango, Day of the Tentacle and the aforementioned Full Throttle, so you know Psychonauts is going to be one hell of a game before even launching it. Tim Schafer undoubtedly is a complete genius, and I'm obviously a huge fan. So, I'm going to be playing the Steam version as it's the only version I currently own and the only version I've ever actually played. The game was originally published by Majesco, releasing on Windows, PS2 and Xbox, but Double Fine has since acquired the rights for the game, allowing it to be republished on modern gaming systems. Now first off, the title screen is amazing. The music is really epic and intense, giving us an insight into the themes later on in the game. This title screen is also full of cool touches like the game logo being plastered onto a brain, which foreshadows the greater plot, which I think is super sick. The text bubbles showing the credits are a nice touch too. I just think this is an amazing title screen overall in my opinion. And it's also interactive. Yes, letting the player get a feel for the movement and character before even stepping in. After walking around the interactive title screen and finding the correct door to start your adventure, you are put into a pre-rendered cutscene. Now, this cutscene is effective. It sets a humorous tone and is quick to introduce characters and their names. We can also take a look at the wacky and creatively stylized models, which I have come to love. The intro cutscene also introduces Raz, the main protagonist. Raz is a 10-year-old son of a family of circus performers, which he obviously wasn't very fond of, seeing as he ran away from the circus to become a psychonaut. This was against his father's wishes, who doesn't approve of his psychic power. Straight from the get-go, the quality is blindingly apparent. The voice acting is really good. The lines are delivered amazingly, and this really helps to pull you in before you've even entered the world. After the cutscene's finished, we can pick a save file. This is super cool also. The different save files are represented as bunk beds in the camp. This game is full of nice touches like that. When your save file has been selected, the tutorial rolls. This tutorial is extremely simple, but explains the camera controls and an explanation of the types of collectibles in the game. Oh yeah, there's collectibles. What would a 3D platformer be without collectibles? You should know this. And after all that pre-rendered glory, cutscenes and tutorials, we are finally plopped into the world of Whispering Rock Psychic Summer Camp. Now that's a tongue twister. As I'm guessing, you can already tell this is no normal summer camp. Instead of this kind of summer camp, Whispering Rock is a US government training facility disguised as a summer camp. It sits on the site of a meteor crash, a meteor made from Titanium, which grants or strengthens psychic powers. Seems like the perfect place to train psychic children. Now, we're in. We can take a look at the controls and moveset. Straight away, Raz is armed with a simple attack combo. This is quite standard, but the psychic flare visible when attacking is quite nice. He also has a ground pound move which can be activated by using a jump and an attack. Raz can flip and side flip, which grants him faster movement speed and the ability to dodge. Lastly, this is a platformer after all. Raz has a jump and a double jump. The classic staple. Now, I can let this slide as this is a psychic double jump, which makes sense and it's fine. His moveset is expanded as the game progresses, unlocking more psychic powers later on. These powers can be awarded through story missions or leveling up Raz's PSI rank. His PSI rank is like his psychic level. The higher the rank, the more stuff unlocked. The player is also introduced to some of the hub world's collectibles, arrowheads and psi cards. Arrowheads are the currency of the game, enabling the player to purchase things at the camp store. These are readily available and found in both levels and the hub world. Psi cards and psi challenge markers both increase Raz's PSI rank and level Raz's character up. Psi cards have to be crafted into Psi challenge markers to do so. All the collectibles in the game actually serve a purpose, whether it be to level up Raz or unlock hidden content and little insights into the character's life. This is great because it gives the player a real incentive to go and explore both the camp and the main levels, rather than the collectibles serving no purpose aside from adding to a point counter, like most 3D platformers. Now, onto the hub world. The player is greeted with an open area to explore, reminiscent of Super Mario 64 and other staple platformers. Except this starting area is bustling with NPCs to interact with. The hub world is the camp and it is sprawling. The world building is amazing. Straight off the bat you can explore the camp freely. The only gripe I have with this game is that the hub isn't accessible after the game is beaten, which is a feature I hope they include with Psychonauts 2. Because once the game is complete, you start progress completely over, which leaves a lot to desire if you haven't collected everything or experienced everything you wanted to experience while playing. So yeah, I'm really hoping Psychonauts 2 will fix this issue. Also, Psychonauts is not an open world game. Although this great huge camp may allude to this, the hub, levels and objectives are largely linear. You can't pick and choose between what levels you want to do and when to do them. It's all laid out in a very specific order, with text appearing at the top of the screen to guide you to the next mission objective or NPC to talk to progress. This is completely fine by me, as most 3D platformers are like this, but it might be cool to see a platformer take a different approach in the future. The first game objective is basic braining. Now, Raz isn't allowed to participate in the camp's other activities because he snuck in, but he is allowed to participate in Coach Oleander's basic braining course while he waits for his dad to come and pick him up. This basic braining course is basically another tutorial cleverly disguised as a level. As we approach Coach Oleander, we can see that the levels are actually set up in a very interesting way. The hub world is the real world, but the levels are mental worlds, accessed by adventuring into the minds of the characters in the game. Some of these mental worlds also include boss fights. I'm not really going to touch on boss fights in this video because there aren't that many and they are very cool. So that's something I actually want you to experience for yourself and I don't want to spoil it. So make sure you play this game until the very end because the last boss fight is super cool. Back to Oleander. When entering his mind, we are greeted with a military theme. All levels are based on wildly different themes. The theme is dictated by the mind of the character you're in, changing based on their personality and life experiences. The levels each have goals to complete. These goals are linear and mainly involve reaching the end to complete the level and leave the mind. Also in basic braining, we encounter the first figment and emotional baggage. Figments and emotional baggage are two more types of collectible in Psychonauts. Figments represent aspects of the mind's personality and goals. Each figment has a certain value to it, making some figments worth more to collect. And every time Raz obtains 100 figments, he levels up by 1 PSI cadet rank. As the game progresses, the worth of figments slowly rises. These are essential to collect to upgrade Raz's ability and power. Emotional baggage, on the other hand, are collectibles that depict the person's emotional baggage, and the models themselves are pictured crying continuously. The baggage can be resolved once Raz unlocks the bag with a key. Doing so unlocks the hold of the mind's memories and the player is rewarded with a nice art reel. If enough bags are reunited with their keys, Raz's PSI rank will be boosted. So, we've now discussed the moveset, hub world and origins of the game. But what is the devious and sinister plot surrounding this otherwise innocuous camp? After completing Oleander's basic braining, Agent Sasha 9, who, can I add, has an extremely cool character design and name, is unsurprisingly impressed, and allows him to join in with an experiment in Agent 9's lab to exercise the extent of Raz's capabilities. However, like milk left in the sun, the situation quickly turns sour. In this experiment, Agent 9 makes use of a device called the Brain Tumbler, which allows Raz to enter his own mindscape rather than other people's, in turn allowing him to unlock his full potential. When entering his mind, however, Raz is met with an unsettling vision. A vision of a crazy doctor taking the brain of Dogen, a fellow campmate, and someone Raz had befriended just before. This vision wasn't just a dream, however, it was reality. The before friendly Coach Oleander had a rather malicious plan to take over the world using brain-controlled tanks, using the brains of the campers. He is exercising his plan alongside the aforementioned crazy dentist Dr. Labota. Okay, this got crazy real fast, and Raz only has one day to save the world before his dad arrives to pick him up. Let's do this. But before the brain-stealing vision is proven as a reality, Raz acquires marksmanship from Agent 9, a power which allows him to shoot missile kind of things. The ammo you collect is like little red balls, they're available everywhere. Oh, the health is also little blue balls, so whenever you kill an enemy they all drop and you just collect it. The powers unlocked in this game are very varied, and you're able to use them at any time, wherever you want and whenever you want. If you believe a power to be fit for a scenario, go ahead and use it. Other unlocked abilities include things like a hovering ball, pyrokinesis and telekinesis. Don't get me wrong, some powers are more useful than others, but it just feels great to have a full arsenal of powers unlocked and ready to go. It makes you feel unstoppable even if Raz is just a 10-year-old circus escapee. The last thing I want to mention is level theme. Each character's world is themed completely differently. This gives a really fresh experience with each level, and you have no clue what world you may jump into next. Whether it be a city full of fish people or a 70s-esque disco party, you can always be surprised with what comes next. The scenes look amazing also. They are jam-packed full of cool elements and scenery and background objects. For a 2005 platformer, this game really knows how to create a nice full environment, and the illusion of this being able to be a reality, if you look past the polygons. Now, I don't want to spoil the whole game. Psychonauts has a lot more to offer and a lot more in store waiting for you if you go play it yourself. In this video, I've barely scraped the surface of the game, and I've barely scraped the surface in terms of characters, levels and themes. I really recommend you just go and check it out for yourself. If you like what you hear so far and want to help Raz save the world, you should go purchase this game on Steam, if you don't own it already. It's currently at a great price and it is a worthwhile purchase. I've sunk almost 50 hours into this game and I don't feel finished at all. I've completed it many times, but I still have tons of achievements to still unlock, and tons of collectibles and things I've still yet to explore. If you can't buy it now, definitely wishlist it and purchase it when it's either on sale or discounted in some kind of bundle. It's well worth it. So, that was Psychonauts. For Double Fine's first game, they really smashed it out of the ballpark. All of the characters, environments, level design, everything. I'm so excited for Psychonauts 2, and I assume we all are.
Pop it on the window, get drunk. Legs like warm when they tell me kid rock. Underdog, fuck the odds, setting up shop. You be towing props, we be towing Glocks. I got all your homies switching cause the money talks.